Yes, you read the thumbnail correctly. I am still bullish on the crypto markets at this point in time. And it is honestly baffling why people run away from the markets when they go down, but they're dying to buy whenever the market is hot or when the market is climbing at a rapid pace. It should really be the opposite. In this video, I'm going to go over why I am still bullish on the crypto markets heading into the back half of November, into December in 2026, why the 4-year cycle probably doesn't exist anymore, and also adjustments I'm making in my portfolios and things I'm paying attention to. Because what we're learning during these time periods is most altcoins are absolutely crap and not worth holding in your port. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's jump right into it. And today's video won't be long, but just taking a broader look at the markets and of course my thought process on why I think this is a bear trap. But before we get started, as always, like the video down below. I know the market conditions are absolutely rough. We're all feeling it out here, but like the video and subscribe down below for more content every single week here on In the Game. We have you covered with everything you need in the crypto markets. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors. You can find those links down below in the description. A big shout out today to 𝗓𝗏𝗏. 𝗓𝗏𝗏 is the ultimate AI platform built on the Binance Smart Chain. You could build games, you could do images, videos, 3D assets inside of worlds, all with 𝗓𝗏𝗏. They have multiple facets of their ecosystem to be able to jump into. As you can see, their launch pad, but you can also build games straight from your own wallet. The more activity and the more volume that flows through, you can actually earn off of that game. So be sure to drop down below, hit 𝗓𝗏𝗏 down below in the description, and check out our sponsors as well. So let's just go ahead and dive into the market, guys. And like I said, this is not a fun market for anyone except someone who's just been massively leveraged short for like the last month. And there might be some people out there, but even some of the smartest traders I know did not catch this move to the fullest, right? They're kind of, I'm in group chats with a bunch of other influencers or high-level traders, meme coin trenchers, and they're like, well, obviously, looking back on it in hindsight, we should have put our full portfolio in shorts at 126K or whatever the case is, right? So, a lot of people are sitting on the side right now saying like, man, I should have played this a little differently. But the amount of certainty out there that people say that we're now in a bear market, I think that that's a little bit far-fetched. I just think things are a little off the 4-year cycle. We have to remember, not only did we get a huge pre-pump off of Trump coming into office because he's a pro-crypto president, just think of the fact that if he didn't get in the office, we probably would have seen worse times for crypto because the Democratic side was very anti-crypto, their acts against crypto and the things that the Biden administration had come through with. So everyone was excited about Trump because he was a pro-crypto, candidate. So when he got in the office, the market giga-pumped after that. Like you can go look at most charts. You can go look at the Bitcoin chart after the election, really leading up to January when he dropped the Trump token. The market was extremely hot. That usually doesn't happen in that form during that point in the cycle, but because it was such a pro-crypto candidate, the market pumped. We then get to the summertime. We do see a pretty good climb in Bitcoin. We saw new all-time highs in August as well as early October. But, I don't really know that that's going to be the cycle top. We look at the other factors. ETF approvals slowed, government shutdown. There were just some things out of the realm of control for something like a 4-year cycle to just completely be to a T the exact same that it's been in the previous years. And let's just go through some tweets here. We see me looking at my in-laws across the table after opening TradingView at dinner. And that's how it's felt for sure. My fiance, and of course people's parents, they don't really understand exactly crypto and the way it works, or like if you've been in early, does the market affect you as much, whatever the case is. But man, like my fiance's dad always like, are you doing okay? Crypto's really struggling. It's like, my mental could be better, but at the same time, like we'll make it out of this. And it is interesting. This photo from Michael Saylor, and honestly, if we take a step back, It's not like Michael Saylor. He's a glorified person in the Bitcoin scene because he's accumulated so much Bitcoin. But that doesn't necessarily make him a good trader, right? People have often trolled Michael Saylor for buying local tops a ton. And yes, they just deploy a ton of capital into Bitcoin and their average price is fine. But, you know, a lot of people kind of question some of the timing that he's gotten really aggressive on buying Bitcoin. And he posted this image today saying HODL. But if that's the sinking ship that's the Titanic, why is he on the boat? Shouldn't he be on the sinking ship if he's on the Bitcoin train, right? And we see here Arkham data actually shows that MicroStrategy reduced its Bitcoin holdings from 484,000 to about 437,000. So a drop of about 47,000 Bitcoin, and he's literally showing himself leaving a sinking ship. I don't know, to me, that should be an inverse counter signal, and it is just crazy to zoom out and think in May of 2021, Nvidia was $14 and Ethereum was $3,200. In November of 2025, Nvidia is $190 and Ethereum is $3,200, which leads people to ask, we're still in the super cycle, right? Like, it's still gonna happen. And I'm not sure. We obviously have to tame our expectations. Number one, dilution in the space is at an all-time high. The amount of coins out there, it's no longer spray and pray season. We're not going to get an alt season like 2021. Rule it out. Gone. Okay. We might see something similar to the end of 2023 or the end of 2024. I think those are way more realistic. But if you remember, it wasn't everything pumping. It's only select altcoins. So we're going to go over, I'm going to just take another glance at the portfolio and maybe go over some stuff I might be cutting out of the portfolio at this point in the cycle just to maximize my upside. Because what we're seeing right now is most coins are just dying flat out. And that's a good thing for just, you know, market cycles, future of crypto, etc. But gone are the days where we can just kind of have a big allocation and a bunch of different coins and just hope for upside. So we have to adjust that thesis. But the absolute certainty, like I said earlier in the video, that people are calling for a bear market makes me think this is a bear trap. I can't fathom every account and reply guy nailing this and buying back lower. And that is very true. Like when the herd, you know, everyone says herd mentality. When the herd goes one way, you should typically go the other way. Now, of course, the herd was super bullish at 120. Now they're becoming bears. I don't know. Like when you flip-flop that quickly and you just run with whatever your favorite Twitter personality is saying, look, we are not psychics, okay? We are market participants just like everyone else, okay? We have conversations with teams. We don't know the people who manipulate these markets. We don't know the people who are the market makers, okay? Like we have very good connections in the space. We see opportunities. We give you guys those opportunities as much as possible here on YouTube, Twitter, Discord groups, whatever the case is, but nobody can tell the future. And if they say that they can, run away as soon as possible. But people see fear and we see opportunity. Like I'm the guy in the back right now. Everyone's freaking out about the markets, but I really think this is the time to be buying. As TGR says, Bitcoin looks great here. I absolutely agree. These mid 90,000 levels as we're recording, 95K on Bitcoin. I think that's an absolute steal. If you have some capital, just like to lump sum into Bitcoin there, I think that's absolutely a good move. BlackRock joining up with Binance Chain and BNB. That is very bullish, as well as BlackRock continues to lean into crypto. We see Wiz, one of the best traders on crypto Twitter, saying money rotation into big caps in the coming weeks. We see Sol Big Brain dumping $2 million into Solana buys, and that's the mentality we should be having, okay? Like I said in the intro of this video, I know this is a little more philosophical kind of market thesis type of conversation, but what we need to really look at here is everyone runs away when the prices go down, but this is the time to be buying, okay? The time to be buying is not when Bitcoin's back at 120,000 and coming into the comment section down below the video saying, Hustle, what do I buy? You need to be looking at what do I buy right now, okay? And the only way we're gonna make it out of this is by making the right decisions on the tokens to buy. You wanna find tokens doing revenue, stuff like Xborg, who has bought back another 1.7 million tokens today, and they have already completed $345,000 in buybacks over the last couple of weeks, all Q4 revenue going to buy back Xborg. That is something you wanna see from your projects that you are investing in, because let's just keep it 100% real. most projects are going to die. I'll zoom into this here. We want to get involved with projects that are going to be here for the long haul, but on top of that, are here to back their own supporters and their ecosystem, people who are making revenue, doing buybacks. So just kind of looking at the port here. And a lot of people also say, well, why would I adjust my portfolio when it's down? Because you can rotate out of absolutely garbage, dead dino coins that don't move or whatever the case is. Insider tokens that have people dumping behind the scenes, whatever the case is, okay? This is the time to reassess your port. And when I'm looking at my majors, for the most part, I feel pretty comfortable. Honestly speaking, I might rotate a couple percentage out of like 1% each maybe of 𝗬𝗎 into something like Hyperliquid at this price. Hyperliquid right now sitting at 37, down 12% on the week. I don't know. Hype's going to be here long haul, and they're buying back their tokens hand over fist. We saw literally at the end of October, this was almost $50. Now we're sitting at $37, 25% discount from that time period, from that high on October 29th. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. You don't have to completely shuffle the board, and there will be stuff we'll exit for sure. But for me, I'd maybe shave 1% off 𝗬𝗎 and 𝗚FX because they're moving slow. They are absolutely slow movers. But Hyperliquid has proven to be one of the fastest horses in all of crypto. So I might move, let's just say, for example, 1% out of 𝗬𝗎, or not SOL, 1% out of 𝗬𝗎 and 𝗚FX, and potentially look to move that into a quicker horse. That means I'm not completely capitulating my bags on projects that I still believe in. I think Avalanche is fantastic. I think 𝗬𝗎 is fantastic, but I would like to move that into Hyperliquid. So that becomes my third biggest major holding behind Bitcoin and ETH. Moving on down the ladder, stuff in the AI space. Like, it's getting to the point where I might cut out a couple of these small caps, maybe GPU, for example, because it has just been underwhelming versus something like 𝗏. I'd honestly rather full port most of my AI portfolio into a token like 𝗏, especially given the AI arms race that we continue to see in society. So that's another one we saw in the let's go look at the 𝗏 chart. If we did not see market turmoil, this thing was destined for $600, $700, but the market halted right here on a big upside swing for 𝗏. So this is one I'm absolutely looking to stack up into. I probably might cut some of these lower cap AI positions because they're just so speculative and move that into 𝗏. For meme coins, I don't know. For memes, I might just cut out everything. Like, I think that there'll be a time for on-chain trenching, but right now I might cut everything maybe other than Pengu. Looking at gaming, I still like Ronin. I think Super will bounce back. Stuff like Beam, Prime, some of these, the developments are so slow now in the gaming space. And it's unfortunate for me to say here, channel's name is literally in the game. I'm one of the OGs, and I hate to say that about myself, but I was one of the first movers in the crypto gaming space back in 2021. But I mean, it's just really sad where the industry is at this point in time. However, yesterday we had some amazing news come through with a project I've been looking forward to for quite some time, Planet X. A lot of people call this the COD mobile of Web3, and the game is absolutely fantastic. But they announced their first ever in the industry gaming and entertainment studio built on its own blockchain, but it's co-owned by esports players and influencers with millions of followers, 200 million followers, 30 billion views collectively, the biggest conglomerate of creators, and they own this project. So it's community and player owned. I think that this game is one of the best we've seen in crypto, and it's one that does give me hope for the future of the industry. So what I'd be doing right now, look across the board, assess your portfolio, cut the weak crap out, because yes, is it going to hurt if the coin's down a little bit? Yes, it will. But you can recover those losses off of a coin that you don't want to be a part of anymore in something like Hyperliquid or, 𝗏 a lot quicker when the market turns around because you allocate into strength. So don't be scared to make portfolio changes during these time periods, okay? This is the time period to cut the crap, get into strength coins, and ride it up when it turns around. And please don't be the person that waits until Bitcoin's back at 115,000 and says, what should I be buying? This is the time. And I could go over 15 coins that I would say like are good entries here. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP even looks pretty decent here. Something like Hyperliquid, Tau, for example. Like there are plenty of value buys, but your conviction versus mine are going to be different. I want revenue drivers. I want projects that are in hot niches that are absolutely showing strength when the market is hot. And even when the market's not, we saw Tau ripping during a little bit of market turmoil. So that's what I'm looking at in the market, guys. I think we have to move. Look, I'm not moving goalposts, but due to external factors, the 4-year cycle is not what we're running on at this point in time. I remain bullish. I might, I could get crushed in that. If we really go into a bear market, if we see 72K Bitcoin, I mean, the doom and gloom all over the place, people can grave dance, but they're already grave dancing. I don't know. It just seems like the herd has completely shifted bearish. It's almost unpopular to be bullish at this time. Sure, I'm sure there'll be some comments down below. We're in a bear market. Alt season's dead. Altcoins are dead. Bitcoin scam, whatever the case is. That always happens when the market's down. Crypto market participants are the most emotional participants. And look, it's hard. I've been in the industry long enough that I'm pretty numb to the price action for the most part, but I do see a lot of opportunity in the market right now. And I hope that you do too, because the smart investors don't get rich by buying tops and selling bottoms. They get rich by holding long-term on good assets. And that's exactly what I'm planning to do. So guys, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel for more, and you guys have an amazing weekend despite the price action. Go touch some grass. Go enjoy some beverages with your lady or your man or whatever the case is. And I'll see you guys on Monday. As always, guys, trade responsibly, stay bullish, and of course, play well, my friends.